Now, what do you do, Brandon? What's your role in the organization? Levi, you gonna?
It's not structured the same way for everybody.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, so I'll lead off. I'll do the next one, but I'm gonna start off with you being the content coordinator. That means that you're partly the reason that my clip didn't get top #1 clip last time. So I can say I'm a little bit mad about that. But anyways, I'm Levi. I'm a student here studying English. My role in the club is pretty much just side man. I'm just kind of showing up at things, eating pizza at socials, streaming on the channel every once in a while. I go by the tagline of air or hierarchy pretty much anywhere I go online. So who's going next, boys?
I'll go next. For those that don't know me, my name is Sergio Brack, and I am the head of competitive and the Call of Duty captain for Ole Miss Esports. This is my 3rd year in the organization. Probably won't be my last. Thinking about going for my master's, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. We'll see.
And I'm Dylan. I'm new to the esports team this year. I'm the lead graphics designer, and I'm also the chair for the newly formed Madden team, one of the new teams that we got here. And I'm a senior that is never leaving this school ever. So I'll be here for the next 15 years of my life.
7th year senior gang.
That's what I'm going for.
Lord. Oh my god, dog. I'll start. So I literally worked like full time every day over the summer, so I didn't get to play as many games as I really like wanted to. I guess you could say, but I pretty much just like indulged in other esports since Call of Duty was in the off season. So like I played a little bit of CS:GO, played some Rocket League. Occasionally, of course I kept playing COD. Like that's my bread and butter. I didn't really get to play any single player games as much as I would have wanted to. So for the most part, like whenever I got a chance to, my streams were usually Call of Duty, CS:GO, and occasionally Rocket League.
I'll hit up the next one. So as a huge surprise to anyone who knows me, I played a lot of Destiny throughout the summer. Like Sergio, I was also working full time, so like a lot of times it would be a lot of times I'd come in and not really feel like playing video games. I'd go straight to sleep. Right. But I played a lot of Destiny, played a lot of competitive in it, done some grinding here and there. And I'm going to finish off that legend grind pretty soon. I'm going to be on my way to the Unbroken title, so we're out here.
No, I spent my summer doing nothing. I beat all the Batman games, rolled through all of them. I mainly do single player stuff. Also, Brandon, you're still muted on the stream, just so you know. People be calling that out.
Oh, I just lost.
Yeah, you gotta stop that. You're garbage at this.
I just lost full dog.
Oh my god, I hate streaming. I really
Bro,
do.
Y'all gotta get me on that MCC Reach collection when y'all get on it.
I need somebody to play my Xbox. I don't think I'll play on my Xbox. Like, actually, no, that's not true. So I actually invested in Xbox Game Pass over the summer. Ironically, I had it before they actually made it good after E3. So I played. I really only got it because I saw one of my childhood games on there. I don't know if you ever played Fusion Frenzy before. It was like a little like local party game. I don't really know how to explain it. But
Wasn't
like
that the Cartoon Network game? Or what was that? What is Fusion Frenzy?
I'm thinking of Fusion Fall.
Oh yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. Fusion Frenzy. It's kind of like a Mario Party type game. It's just a bunch of mini games.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
I found that on there. I went ahead and replayed Cuphead. Quickly realized why I stopped playing that game. And then
Souls big platformer.
Yeah, my Xbox and me have like a weird relationship because like none of my friends really played. It's literally either like PC or PS4. So my Xbox hardly gets any playtime. Really, it's mostly just a Netflix machine at this point. So, but if anybody wants to play Master Chief Collection, let me know.
I want to play that too. So let me go over some things since I was muted. My name's Brandon Thompson. Cooldown Podcast episode 7. I play over summer. I played Overwatch, League of Legends, and SCP Secret Laboratory. That's about all I said. Okay, so what did you guys do over the summer? You know, besides games, like, did you do anything exciting, like,
at
all?
Nah, dude. I literally like worked full time, and that was literally. Oh, actually, no. I'm literally wearing this shirt, dog. I went to go
Anaheim. Yeah. And I put that on Instagram.
Yeah, I competed at my first major Call of Duty event, CW Anaheim. I had a great time. I placed top 80 with Chris Shackelford. So, Chris Shackelford from Mississippi State, for those that don't know. So I can't be too mad at that placing if you've seen me play with Shaq. But it was just really good experience. It was really good to be acknowledged. We actually got interviewed. Me and one of my friends from UT Knoxville got interviewed to be able to talk about the collegiate Call of Duty scene, and it was shown like on the live stream, and it garnered like a lot of attention from a lot of people. So it was really good to be able to represent the league and represent the school like that. And yeah, it made me excited to go to more majors if we have majors from now on in the future. So that was probably the highlight of my summer, to be honest, that whole trip.
That sounds pretty exciting. I wish I could have got on to something like that. All I did was sit in my room and play video games, pretty much. I did get a new car, so that was something
dope.
Good out of summer. I was driving a truck, a 2003 Chevy Avalanche. I had about 11 miles per gallon. Now I drive a hybrid, a Honda Insight 2010. And I get about 50 miles per gallon. It's great.
Ooh, we love to hear that.
I think you've doubled me with that one. Yeah, my summer was a real college student summer. Besides a little bit at the beginning of the summer, I had a camping trip. But, you know, I'm a real gamer, so no Wi-Fi is not really a great vacation to me.
I'm sure.
So anyways, besides that, I've done a lot of work. I had to, you know, make sure I had the rent paid for, so, you know, we're out here. What about you, Dylan?
Oh, I took my beautiful, beautiful car to Texas and drove it all the way there, drove it all the way back, had a fun trip, and then did nothing.
Wait, so you drove down there for no reason?
Summer, then
I
did
drove
nothing.
there to go to Dallas. Literally just to go.
Like,
I wanted to take my car on a trip. Yeah, I just want to take my car on a trip, so I did.
Oh, you got money. What in the world, dog?
Or time.
Yeah, time, and money. I wish I could just get up and be like, yeah, I'm just going to Texas today.
Yeah, that would
I want to go to Texas.
I don't have that kind of like Bro, who does that? Who just gets up now? Today I'm going to Texas. I'll see y'all in a bit.
We're gonna get judge our man on the stream. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, man.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
That's
know,
what it
do your
sounds
thing,
like.
dog. I'm just saying, I'm trying to get like you. Like, I wish that I could do something.
Man,
like
I
that.
didn't even bring out the humble brag of what my car is. So,
What is it?
Ooh.
a Corvette.
God dang.
You gotta get up and walk away.
I think it's time to move on to the next topic. So, 2019, 2020 expectations. What do you have, and what do you look forward to in the program?
So for me, for those that don't know, this is like our first year as a collegiate esports program, being like directly under our university. We sort of hinted at it last year, but we never really went like full blown with it. It was mostly just a planning period for us. So this is the first year we're going to have varsity rosters where our players sign contracts and they have benefits for the esports that they play. So I'm super excited for that. I think it's going to be really good and legitimize like our organization. I think it's going to make our teams try a lot harder, and I think our teams are going to be the best that they've ever been all around. Like in the past, we've always had like different teams be good at different times. Like we had our the year I got here, I joined PUBG was really good. The year after that, Smash was really good. The year after that, COD. And so I'm just hoping that this year, all around, we're just like for the first time, just a really well-rounded esports organization. I'm also excited for our merch. Brandon has on his long sleeve shirt. If you go to Ole Miss, make sure you stop by the Student Union and go cop. We have a long sleeve T-shirt, sweater, as well as a regular T-shirt. So yeah, make sure you go cop those. And then we also have acquired merch for our org members that'll be coming very soon. And our varsity players are going to get their jerseys and their pro jackets for free. So I'm excited, dude. I mean, we got a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff that I can't even talk about at this point, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the rest of the stuff that you said, especially the merch, because I'm buying half of the list of things that we've been offered, which is
100%.
crazy nice hoodies,
Yeah.
a flag, let me think, more T-shirts, of course, ones made by Acquire that have its own version of the logo, which are phenomenal.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And two of the jackets are like jersey type jackets too, with like the entire like wrapping on it. It's beautiful.
It really is.
And then aside from that, I'm looking forward to other merchandise, like car stickers, little decals.
That's really what I want. Yeah.
Oh,
I want a deco for
maybe
my
hats.
purpose.
Hats would be nice.
I'm not a big hat guy.
Maybe
I'm
socks, You'd take some Ole Miss
Socks.
Esports socks, wouldn't you, Sergio?
I mean, I wear socks to bed, so yeah, probably.
Fair, okay. So you're taking Ole Miss Esports to bed?
PG fine.
I wasn't talking like that. That's.
I'm gonna take it. I'm about to.
I wasn't taking it that far. I wasn't taking it that far.
I'm done.
Okay,
We're done
Sergio.
plugging merch for at least 27 seconds.
Other than that, I look forward to the Egg Bowl at State. Hopefully, they host a good one this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everything runs smoothly, goes perfectly. No issues with any of the games. Hopefully, I can pray.
Hopefully, we win.
Yeah, we
are.
Hopefully, we win. We're gonna win. We're not gonna lose. Not again. We're gonna take it on their turf this time. We're gonna take the trophy back.
Look, more generally, I'm just excited for. I'm excited for kind of events in general because, as interest in the program goes up and as more people know about it, I'm excited to have events where there's big interest and big hype and real energy around esports. So it's gonna be, we're gonna see how it is with the Egg Bowl at MSU, and then Land Shark later, and whatever other tourneys come up at the same time. So just I'm excited to go to LAN events in person and really be a part of what it is to like be around esports.
Dylan, I'm really interested to like hear what you have because we literally like just met you. Like what a couple like last week, literally.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah. So you like just became a part of the organization. So like, what are you looking forward to now that you're a part of it?
Man, I knew about your organization from last year thanks to Mr. Content Coordinator Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you. And
Okay.
he's the reason I even knew that it existed. And I was not going to join. And then I saw you guys talking about the sports teams this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing how those come along. See if maybe 2K, I know 2K's got way more interest than Madden does. Hopefully one of us can get up into varsity level for next year. And like, I'm really looking forward to seeing how people come about for the sports teams because there's so many, it's different than playing stuff like COD because you've got solo play and you've got team play. So like there's two separate aspects of it that are completely different. Like one person can be good at solo and they're going to suck at team play.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how people are going to be with it.
Yeah. I've never really, indulged into like the sports games, esports side of things. Like I've seen some of the 2K Pro League and it looks really dope. But I haven't really like watched a lot of Madden to be honest. So I'm really excited to see like the players that join and like how they do. Because I do think there's a reason the CSL has it in their list of leagues and tournaments, right? So I'm excited to see what our players do with it. I know since I've been here, I've gotten questions like all the time, like do you have a 2K team? Do you have a Madden team? I think it's just like the people that usually play those games don't really like to associate themselves with the esports. So you kind of have to go like the extra mile. We're trying to find those people to play that stuff because most people that play that probably haven't really even heard of Discord, right? Especially on a college campus.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that'll be interested in those games. It's just a matter of finding them and them actually seeing us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
if I
when
can be
people think
for,
esports, they don't really think sports games a lot of times. So that's like,
yeah.
But being 100% real, when are we going to get an NHL team? We need an NHL team.
So the thing with like our organization is that like we literally don't turn down any like game. Like you could come and say like I want to start a Banjo-Kazooie team, and like if
I would support it.
if you want to play Banjo-Kazooie, then we would literally let you if you like gain interest from it. Like I've been telling people, like you might not be a part of the varsity program just because our school has already cemented what esports that we can have within the program, but it's entirely possible for you to build a community around it and make it to what it is. Because the story I like to always tell people is that when I first joined the org 2 years ago, I went up to our former president and I was like, "Hey, I'm new. Do you have a Call of Duty team?" He was like, "No, like what?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so like literally started from the ground up, and then 2 years later, we're like the best team in the U.S. And the school takes us super seriously because of it. Like every team has a starting point. So like if you're watching this and you go to our school and like you just don't think we're gonna support whatever games you play, that's entirely not true. We have people to play just about everything. If you're interested in the game, I guarantee you there's somebody within the esports org that's interested in it too. So I strongly encourage people to approach us and even other esports orgs. Honestly, there's not many esports orgs that I can think of that would just turn down a game, especially if you take charge and want to be the head of that game. So definitely get involved within your school. Don't be scared to tell them you play something just because you don't think it's a popular title per se.
And there's a lot of games that we don't specifically have teams for or play often. There are a lot of games that have extra tournaments on the side and stuff and events and competitions. And they have a pro scene. It's just a matter of getting the people to actually want to play it, and you got to find the people that want to play it, and then
Right, exactly.
So where's my Destiny team?
I don't know, man. You got to find the Destiny players.
Does Destiny have a pro scene? Like, do they have actual pro tournaments?
I mean, they have tourneys and like prize pools, but they don't have like an actual pro scene.
Pro scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. Usually, like with collegiate esports, like if there's no pro scene for whatever you play, it's super hard to get a collegiate thing started. Like super.
Yeah, right
super
now
hard.
it's just like because they pretty much just refer to it as sweats. They don't
Yeah.
like.
I mean, as long as you can find a community for it, and like even if you're not necessarily like a team per se, just having like a bunch of like-minded like people to play with for whatever game you play is always super dope. So
Yeah. Other things that I'm looking forward to though are the if we can ever get a specific room for the podcast.
Yeah.
Or an arena for play, which would be fantastic. We've been talking about it like almost every other cooldown, and I've been wanting it.
Yeah.
We all want it. It would be phenomenal.
If you're an OG from the podcast, you're probably wondering why we're not in the infamous dungeon right now.
Yeah.
Shout out football season. So I don't know when we're gonna be back in the dungeon, but eventually we'll all be back in the same room, hopefully. So we'll see.
Yeah. Other than that, I would also hope for new camera for the podcast, other than my webcam that I use personally. That would be wonderful as well. I think that's about it for the topic, unless anyone else has any input.
I'm trying to think. Signing day. I'm super excited for signing day. So I guess to sort of mirror it off of something in particular, I've been working with our esports director, super heavy. We were supposed to have like an official event, like press conference type thing to announce that we're officially an esports program at the school. And it never really took off or happened. So I decided to like take charge of it and like fight to make it happen. And so as soon as we finish tryouts this coming week, we're actually going to have a signing day towards the end of the month, I believe. And our varsity players are going to get a chance to sit in front of media, kind of like how people do when they sign off to different colleges and sign a contract. You get to hold up your jersey. You'll get to take pictures with your team and stuff like that. I'm also, I guess, something I can leak sort of is I'm working on getting like team schedule posters. So like, how our school has like football, volleyball posters, and it has like their team picture and their schedule on it and stuff like that. We're trying to get those for esports as well. So like you'll have a team picture of the Rainbow Six team and have their schedule and where you can watch their games at the bottom of it. Just small like little projects like that, just to make the student body want to get involved in esports. And even if I'm really excited this year to build like I don't want to use the word fans, but like a fan base, quote unquote, right? Like people that don't play, but they support all of our teams and watch our games and come out to events and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to do that finally.
Serge, what's your expectations for Modern Warfare for the esports team?
Ooh.
This year, honestly, like I know a lot of people in the esports org aren't really they think of me as like a really good player in COD, but this is honestly one of my worst years that I've had like as a COD player. Granted, like the role that I played didn't really garner like the best gameplay during the season, but I just didn't feel like I played to like the best of my ability all year. But slower CODs is sort of where I thrive at. And I think our team is a lot better on slower Call of Duties, besides maybe one player, but I'm not gonna say any names. But I'm excited. We're a team that's like really we play to uphold like our reputation, I guess you could say, and we thrive off being doubted. So like for some reason, like in our league, no matter who we beat, how bad we beat them, people still always say, "Oh, Ole Miss isn't gonna do this. Ole Miss isn't gonna do this." And that's what we thrive off of. So I'm super confident in my team, no matter what COD we play, I guess. Because at the end of the day, if we end up sucking at the beginning of the game, I trust ours to grind to the point where we're in the top 2 or 3 best teams in the league by the end of the season. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm also excited for the tryouts. I think we're going to get a lot of new people come back to COD that didn't necessarily like Black Ops 4. I think Modern Warfare is going to bring back a lot of people. So I'm super excited to see new faces too, and see our JV team. This is the first year we're going to be able to have a JV team compete. at the same time as us in the same league. So I think that'll be super dope. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna be good. There's definitely people that doubt us right now because Slacky and Armstrong graduated this year, so we're like rebuilding off those two. But I think we'll be fine. I think we're talented enough to get the job done at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that I'm really excited for Modern Warfare just in general because I feel like as far as the Call of Duty community goes, which like even though I haven't really grinded a Call of Duty since like Black Ops 3, but I've always kept up with the scene, always kept up with the games and everything. And I think that Modern Warfare is like really it's what everybody wants. Everybody's been talking about like, let's go back to how it was in Modern Warfare. Let's go back to how it was in Modern Warfare.
Even the people on PC, the community's massive that's wanting to play it just so much.
Exactly.
I will say this: Modern Warfare is bringing me back to COD for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the sentiment for a lot of people, right? Because I think they played it really well, right? So as soon as like a COD with jetpacks even got announced, which I think I'm pretty sure the first one was Advanced Warfare. People immediately like turned it down. They were like, "No, I'm not playing this. This isn't COD." Like,
it's Halo,
right? And so they did a good job of. So a lot of people complained about the name when it first came out, like Modern Warfare, and how they were rehashing it. But I think it did the job of like getting people's attention to be like, "Oh, like they're redoing this, and this is what I grew up on, so I'm gonna check this out." And then it's also crossplay now for the first time in like COD history with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So that's gonna bring a lot of people.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
the poor Nintendo Switch over there,
and the poor people without mouse and keyboard.
But yeah, I think it'll be dope, dude. I'm super excited, and I guess it's been so long since we've had a COD where every like part of the community was satisfied. Like I always refer back to Black Ops 2 and how like your trolling community was happy, your competitive community was happy, your sniping community. There's so many different facets to Call of Duty, and people indulge in like different parts of it. And it's been so long since we've had a game that like satisfies all of those needs at any given point. So hopefully Modern Warfare does that. I'm not gonna give any like early reactions or gameplay because like even like after I play the beta, I'm not gonna really know my opinion on the game like that because I need to play it competitively. That's just me personally. Yeah. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm excited.
All right, so next topic, I guess. What's the next topic? The positive effects of esports and gaming.
So we brought up this topic because like obviously in recent events there have been people that have tried to blame esports / gaming for different levels of violence across the country, and so I think it's important that we make sure to highlight the positives that can come from gaming and esports for some people that might not be involved in the scene as much. So for me personally, I've never really been like the most social person. I guess you could say like I tend to like keep to myself unless like I have to. So for me, esports and gaming has really made me like branch out and sort of take a position of leadership at a level that I never thought I really would. I don't think I would be the person I am or like the man that I am if it wasn't for the people I've met in esports or like me playing gaming, which is as crazy as it sounds because a lot of people hear, oh, like how did you become a leader through playing a video game? But like there's so many leadership aspects, especially when you're playing on a team. And I think a lot of people don't really get that. And I think a lot of people don't pay attention to the fact that you can develop a lot of these positive characteristics from playing video games, especially with a group of people. So for me personally, that's like my biggest thing. I think it's just I've definitely gained leadership skills and have become a leader, at least in my eyes, through my time in esports.
I think I'm gonna kind of take that same like angle at it and say that one of the things that everyone like a stigma around gaming is like that it's not social, that it's like the least social thing that you can do. And I mean that's just wrong. I mean, maybe back in when the N64 was out and online wasn't a thing that existed, But ever since the arrival of online gaming, every single person you know, if they play video games, they have a group of online friends that they met on their game, and they stick with them. And usually, they talk in game, they talk outside of the game. A lot of times, they end up making connections in real life, and like that's what I've done here. That's what I've done at this program. That's what I mean. I have friends that honestly I consider some of my best friends that I met when I was 14 and playing Destiny 1,
Yeah.
and I still talk to them to this day. We don't play Destiny a lot together anymore, but like I've just met a lot of people that, the social aspect of it is huge.
Like I talk more to people that live like miles or states away from me than I talk to people like here on a regular basis, right? Like some of my best friends are people that I don't see face to face every day. I might not even see you guys face to face every day, but we still talk because there's Discord, right? And like I probably type more in Discord, talk more in Discord than I do like on campus to other people. Which, like I said, some people that might sound like such like a terrible thing, but it's like it's still a form of socialization that I think a lot of people just haven't been exposed to, so they don't really understand it. Which in that case, like I guess it's sort of easy to see where the stigma comes from, because a lot of people, especially like older people, I feel like tend to talk on things that they haven't really experienced. So I mean, I think the stigma is always going to sort of be there, but I don't know, dude. I like from a social standpoint, I just have always really have grown to have an appreciation for esports and like what it helps me with when it comes to talking to other people.
Yeah, even for me, one of my best friends, like I've talked to him since 2012. We met in Gary's mod. We share accounts on literally almost everything, even Crunchyroll and stuff. It's Steam libraries, everything. I've known him for so long. I've still not met him in person, and like I talk to him more than a lot of people I've seen face to face almost every single day. And aside from that, you make so many like friendships, and it's just like it's insane like how much you can accomplish through video games and how many people you meet like every day. Even if it's like somebody that's negative, somebody's all toxic in a video game, you're gonna meet somebody else on the other side of the coin where it's like, hey, this guy's pretty cool, I'm gonna play some more games with him, and then you become friends, and things happen.
Yeah.
And then another great thing about video games is competitiveness. It brings a bunch of people together. You have a whole team, even if it's like fighting games and stuff. They're good sportsmanship between two players fighting against each other in those games, and then
sometimes good sportsmanship.
Yeah, you have some people who don't like sportsmanship. That depends on the person.
Not everybody's got it, bro.
That depends on the person, but in general, it's good sportsmanship, I would say, unless it's Call of Duty, maybe.
So, yeah, I play COD, so good sportsmanship ain't in my
As long as you don't shoot somebody's body,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way as all of you. Like, I still have best friends I talk to every day that I met 2010 playing Modern Warfare 2. Like, I still got like some of my closest friends are from 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, and majority of people that probably know me better than anybody are online. Like,
yeah,
I stay in. I play video games. I was homeschooled, so that was my way of socializing, was using video games, which is also, in my view, a positive effect of it. Because like, without video games, man, I wouldn't have gone to college.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
I would have been too much of a loner to go to college.
Yeah, like, and the crazy thing is, like, there's a lot of people that will tell you, like, not trying to get like on a super dark note, but there's a lot of people that tell you that they literally wouldn't be alive like without the people that they've met through video games and stuff like that. So I definitely think it has its positive effects, and I wish more people would sort of talk to people that play video games before they come to these conclusions that video games cause such negative things. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but I wish it was the case. But until then, all we can do is try to educate other people when they do say these things about video games. But
yeah, I agree. And another thing that is important, like especially with what our school is doing, is like actual research
Yeah.
on esports,
Yeah.
Yeah,
on
that's dope.
competition, on it, and like just facts, not
Mhm.
not opinion pieces, not sitting here talking about what I felt or like what this is. We're talking about we have people in our organization and supported by our school in biochemical areas, like out here, really respected people, graduate students in big programs that are doing real research on the effects of esports, and
Such as heart
so far
rates,
finding good things.
and then now it's going to be brain function, something like that.
Yeah. So.
And there's just so much camaraderie and such in video games that a lot of people don't see that don't play them. I think if more people would play video games, like even if it's like local video games, you would understand like if you're playing with another person, you're having a ton of fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's just
It's not
like
a,
if you
it's not a
play
dark
Uno
thing
with
or
anyone
negative
at
thing
any
in
point.
general at all.
Uno
which you can't
destroys
actually, but
friendships. I don't know what. You're
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Uno's evil. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Get
Online
get that
Uno
plus
is
4
goated.
in that reverse card. So is that all we have to say on positive effects of esports and gaming?
I think so. for the most part.
Alrighty. So on to the next thing, which is my favorite fun for tonight, is anticipated games. I have a huge list myself. I'll let you guys
Yeah,
go
you make a list,
first.
I
And,
wanna lead off because
all right.
I think I'm gonna say one. I was spouting some nonsense before the podcast, but I'm actually going to use this as a real thing that I'm anticipating. So I'm actually excited. I know Serge is probably gonna take Modern Warfare, so I'm gonna take a different shooter. I'm excited for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and like, you know, go ahead and get your laughs out. I ain't worried about it. But
I haven't seen the trailer, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Look,
I've seen some
the trailer
gameplay.
is
It
goofy.
looks
Oh
good.
my- it's so
It does.
yeah, but so like Ghost Recon Wildlands is the first time I got back into Ghost Recon in quite some time. Last time I played was back on like the PS2 or something like that. But when I played Wildlands, I feel like the core gameplay is really smooth. Eventually, they added a PvP mode, which is my bread and butter. I really like PvP games, and the PvP mode is something I would say it's akin to. It's got a little bit of a Rainbow Six feel to it,
Mhm.
but everything is larger and a lot more open. And I was afraid myself that would make the pace excruciating, and that it would play so slow that like, I mean, I come from arcade shooters, Call of Duty, Destiny, quick, everything happens fast.
Mhm.
So like when I play a slower game, I tend to get bored. But there's the core mechanic that is the core differentiating mechanic of Ghost Recon that's not in a lot of other games is you throw a drone that just flies around, and you can use the drone to quickly find other players on the map, and it just makes you don't have 100% awareness of everyone, but it makes everyone on the map slightly aware of where the other team is and how rotations are going, and that combined with a lot of character and class abilities that are unique in how you build your loadout. I think that Breakpoint or Ghost Recon in general has a lot of like potential to like have like a good fan base and like a good like launch, but it's one of those games that every single year it just kind of gets swept under the rug because it's not been good for so long. Like it's never been like respected as like a top shooter title.
Yeah.
So every year it just
It's
kind
been
of gets
pretty
overshadowed.
a niche series.
Exactly. So
I think at one point it was considered like a top one, though. To be honest, like people used to talk about Ghost Recon a lot. I don't know. I don't even know where it sort of fell off. Maybe you know what? It might have
fell
been
off on
like,
Future Soldier.
yeah. I was about to say Ghost Recon Future Soldier because I remember that one came out and I thought the trailers and stuff looked dope, but people said the gameplay was pretty bad. So yeah. Is that the only one you're looking forward to?
I can move on. So I think I'm looking for a lot to Halo Infinite. I'm trying to get a group of my online friends and see if I can bring anyone IRL to go to
That
E3.
E3 trailer was exciting.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to E3 and play on the Halo Infinite. I keep wanting to call it Halo 6. Not, they're dropping the numbers. But anyways, I'm looking forward to the next iteration of Halo. I'll be honest, I'm not super confident in how well it will be. Like, because I mean, I don't trust 343. I just don't.
Yeah,
I think it has to be good.
Exactly. They don't have much status as far as like development's concerned, and like, I mean, I've enjoyed their past games, you know, which are literally only Halo 4 and 5, but I've enjoyed them to an extent. But a lot of the Halo community, a lot of the like really hardcore players that like that's what they grew up on, like it's what defined shooters for them. A lot of those players haven't enjoyed the past Halos, so it's going to be like every single Halo's going to be big. It's going to be either
and we are
way
getting
up
Master
or way
Chief
down.
Collection, so we do get to experience the older ones.
I guess I'm not super picky when it comes to video games in general, but like I would keep it like 100. Like I didn't see a problem like that much with Halo 5. Like whenever I play Halo 5, I had a good time playing it. And I know a lot of like the core Halo fan base like despise the game, but for the most part, when I played it, I had a lot of fun. I know like it was a lot faster pace, and they had like the dashing, and then they had the like the stomps and stuff like that. But I don't know, like to me personally, like, I really enjoyed the game whenever I got a chance to play it. But I don't think there's ever been a Halo game that I didn't like, to be honest with you. So
for me with Halo 5, it was a lot of the community had like you said issues with the stomps, the dashes, the ADS in air hovering and stuff like that. A lot of the new like gameplay mechanics they had. Personally, I really enjoyed those. I thought that they were great iterations to the franchise and how it played, and like future like making it better as it goes. But I mean, I had the biggest problem with just progression, because for me, like continuation of a multiplayer is dependent on one or two things, and it's like either ranked play or some sort of interesting progression.
Yeah.
And the progression in Halo 5 was all play the game, get some rec packs, open it, hope you get some decent looking gear. And as we know, and as it's been like huge topic in the gaming industry recently, nobody likes loot boxes. And that was a huge part of progression in Halo 5. So that's kind of what led me to just hop off the train and go back to Black Ops 3.
That I can't agree with, because I remember I grinded Halo 5 for like a long time, and I opened rec packs and stuff, and I don't think I got like a skin, like a gun skin out of a rec pack until I had played the game for like a month. Like no joke, like that was the first time I got a skin for a gun in that game. Like that's actually ridiculous, and I feel like that should never happen.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandon? What games are you looking forward to?
We're gonna be here for the next hour.
Well, I do have a very big list, but I'm going to start with my number one that I'm very, very excited for, and I'm going to buy the collector's edition as soon as I get the money to do so. Doom Eternal. I'm very hyped for Doom Eternal.
This dude loves Doom, dog.
Oh, Doom is my favorite series without a doubt, and I love it to death. And I'm extremely excited for the soundtrack that Mick Gordon has been working on, and I fully expect it to be even better than the first Doom in terms of soundtrack.
So does this title also play on TI-84 calculators?
No, but I'm pretty sure you can just stick to Pokemon on those. Throw me off with that. Thanks.
That threw me off too, dog. I
know. Yeah.
I know it's gonna be great though, because they've been putting so much time into Doom Eternal, been changing and adding so much stuff from the previous Doom game, and so many new areas and story designs and places that you can go. And even Mick Gordon, the composer for all of the music in Doom, is over the summer he's been reaching out to like companies and people, and he's even like sent out emails to people that were signed up for the Doom newsletter, like me, asking like, hey, if you do anything with vocals or chorus or choir, things like that, you can come and audition and we can get you to do stuff for the game. So he's like gotten so much outside help with it too. Like I fully expect it to be phenomenal. And all of the trailers and things at E3 and QuakeCon have looked fantastic to me. And sorry for my Doom Eternal ramble.
No, you're good, man. We're out here.
Man.
Aside from that, you know, I think everyone here is pretty hyped. I don't know about Dylan and Levi, but Sergio, me, pretty hyped for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for that game, dog. I don't know how you can't after like before, you know, we literally had to wait, you know, 800 years before we got like an actual full length like theatrical trailer for it.
Okay.
But after watching the first theatrical trailer they showed, I don't know how you can't be excited for that game. Like it looks so good, so good.
I'll state this if you don't know. My phone background, my iPad background, and my desktop background, all Cyberpunk.
That's
Really?
amazing.
All 3 of them. So
Oh wow.
yeah, I've been waiting for that game for a long time too.
Yeah, and then they added Keanu Reeves, dude. Like,
Oh,
can you not
yeah.
play that game?
Oh
Come
yeah.
on, man.
I
Come
thought
on,
I
man.
thought that was pretty breathtaking, you know?
I thought it was too. That was a
No, you were
very
breathtaking.
smart move.
No,
Right.
you're breathtaking.
All right. Yeah, but that was a very smart move by them to capitalize on his John Wick, you know, successes. That was really smart.
Oh yeah. And then having him for the E3 conference for it, like that's
Yeah, that's how
crazy.
Oh
they-
yeah, like they
That
had
was
him
dope.
there. He was.
Yeah. Has there been like gameplay footage from that game yet? Like
Yeah,
actual
they-
gameplay?
Yeah, they streamed. They did like a stream like earlier this week, I think.
They did
Ooh.
Of gameplay.
I know
Let's watch
last
that.
year they did like an hour-long thing. That was gameplay demo. They did something at E3.
I'm gonna have to
you
watch
said,
that
They did
then.
something this week too.
Yeah,
It,
I'm gonna
it
go
honestly
watch
looks
that.
phenomenal. I'm pretty hyped for it. Other than that, there's of course Modern Warfare. I personally am hyped for the Outer Worlds, Beyond Good and Evil 2, and then this one Souls-like game called Code Vein. Those are all coming out 2019, 2020, and I'm pretty hyped for those. Outer Worlds, if people don't know, it's essentially like outer space Fallout, and it was made by the same people that did Fallout New Vegas. So I'm very like the bar is set pretty high. So I hope they don't let me down.
Except if you're a PC player, you
Gotta
have to go
purchase
to
through
that
the
other
Epic
service.
Store.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
have to
gonna
go to the
lie.
other service.
I have a confession actually. I've never played a Fallout game like ever. I've
Man.
never played a single Fallout
Well-
game though.
Well, Sergio, you need to change
You can
that,
rest.
and by
Yeah,
changing
I
that, you need to
know,
start with
bro.
New
Knowing
Vegas.
that never.
That's what everybody says.
never
Everybody
touched
says.
Fallout 76.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard. I heard it's pretty bad.
I
Oh,
I
yeah.
wasted
bought,
money on that game. That money was a waste of every bit of my time.
Tough.
I bought the
Oh, for sure.
collector's edition of 76 that came with the TI-51 helmet.
Yeah.
I don't think I played the game for more than 2 minutes.
Oh wow.
I bought it for the helmet.
Is that
That's all
bad?
I
That
wanted.
dog?
sucks.
Yeah,
it
it's,
is
Did,
awful.
hold on. Did you get the bag?
Yes, actually, I got the bag 2 weeks ago.
Oh
They sent
my
the
god!
actual proper canvas bag 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
2
ago.
weeks
That's
ago. When did
Two
the game
weeks
come out?
ago.
When did the game come out?
Bethesda. What are
Last
you
year?
doing?
Last November. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I'll go get it.
Wow.
I'll show off this canvas bag.
yeah, go get it.
That's like refund worthy, dog.
Honestly,
What?
it is,
Well,
like
that's
they
the
just
thing.
didn't give
That's
you
what
your
everyone
product for
was saying.
so long.
Yeah.
Because originally there was a huge deal about everyone talking about because
At first, the
didn't-
canvas bags were just
of
reused
their
ones
promises.
from an event, and then it was another one that was like not even the canvas, bag, like the
Yeah,
the
so the collector's edition.
yeah.
The collector's edition, they bundled it with a vinyl bag that couldn't even fit the helmet in it.
Yeah. It wasn't what was on all the advertisements, and everyone was like,
No.
"What is this?" when they finally get it. Like, really?
Honestly, I didn't even know about it for a couple days because I just cared about the helmet.
November 2018. It's almost been a year, and you just got
It
your
was
canvas
almost a
bag.
year, and they just sent it.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so my experience with that game was so like, I mean, people like over exaggerate and like YouTubers and streamers like, oh, this is literally unplayable. Nah, bruh. Fallout 76 was literally unplayable. Like that game crashed like once every 10 minutes at best. Like,
Yeah.
Best glitch ever the game could uninstall itself.
That too.
What in
Oh,
the world?
The game could seriously uninstall itself.
How do you mess up a game
also,
that bad, dog?
I don't know if they added
How is
it
that even
yet.
possible?
It's Bethesda. It's a damn feature.
That's just so sad. I don't know if they added it yet, but I know at E3, literally almost a year later, they're like, we're adding NPCs.
That is
The one
supposedly
thing that a
coming
lot
in
of people
October.
wanted. Okay, so it's still not out yet. That's great.
No.
Well, thank you,
But,
Fallout.
That was one of the
One
big.
thing-
That was like their whole design philosophy with 76 is that they didn't want NPCs because they wanted players to serve that role.
And then your
it
player
wouldn't
base
happen.
has 2 people online, so
Yeah, and then if I remember, a server can only have like, 16
Um,
people, something like
six-
that?
I think it could get up to 30 if I remember right.
Not that it ever will.
No.
So let me ask you this: so since I've never played a Fallout, if I played Fallout 76, would I enjoy it?
No,
Actually,
It's that bad, dog?
No.
maybe now.
No,
I've heard from a
maybe
couple
now.
people
It
they
depends what
updated
your
to the
standards
point where
are.
It's playable
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
but-
if you start with 76, you might enjoy it.
I mean, like I'm not like a game critic. Like, I'm not. It has to be the worst. I don't think I've ever played a game where I was like.
Did you
besides
play
Fortnite.
Anthem?
Besides Fortnite, I didn't play Anthem.
I played
knew it.
Anthem.
I knew
Look,
Anthem was too beautiful.
it was
to be
kind
good,
of boring, but
Yeah.
it's
Anthem
a
could literally bring
very
the
beautiful
issues.
game.
Yeah, once I saw how beautiful it was, I was like, dude, they completely focused on the scenery. This game is gonna be trash, and I was like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it, dog.
It does have the
Anthem
beauty factor,
locked
and
your
you can
PS4, and you had to
screenshot
like
stuff.
send your PS4 back to Sony.
I just don't think I've
Seriously?
ever played a game that I just like didn't somewhat enjoy. Like, I'm trying so hard to think of one. Oh my god, Tony Hawk's Ride. Y'all remember that on the Wii, dude? Where you never played that?
I played
Oh
Underground.
my god.
No, I've never played.
No, they were selling like a fake skateboard that you could like ride on. That was the worst game I've ever played in my entire life, dog. Brandon,
Well,
I'm
no
literally
wonder
gonna
I've never
find
played it.
I'm gonna find it just so I can make you play. It was so bad, so bad. That game was terrible. The new Tony Hawk Pro Skater that came out that everybody hated, that was better than Tony Hawk's Ride. That's how bad that game was.
Damn.
I completely forgot about that game. That's 100% the worst game I've ever played. But yeah, I'm curious now. Like I might go play 76, like just to see like if I enjoy it.
Um,
And then right after,
play Fallout New Vegas.
yeah, New Vegas. Yeah.
That's what everybody just told me. Like New Vegas is like the one.
I
I
would
kind of have another interjection about Fallout 76. So, a big lure to Fallout 76 for me, because I'm not actually like a big Fallout fan myself. I put in a couple hours on like Fallout 4 and a couple hours on New Vegas, but I've never actually owned the game myself. But like a big lure to Fallout 76 was that there was going to be like a PvP thing, where you could like kind of hunt other players and like really have to like survive in like an apocalypse scenario. But the problem was they didn't fully commit to either side of it. Like, because obviously there are players that don't want to do PvP. There are players that just want to get left alone. And there are players that the only thing they want to do in the game is play PvP.
Are there PvE servers where you can't kill other players, or is it locked
No,
PvP?
it's just-
See, that's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You thought of that idea immediately, but they didn't. Everyone was
What did
together.
they-
There was no option to have like a PvE server and a PvP server. It's just
Yeah, it
everyone was
was-
thrown together. And the issue was, if you wanted to play PvP, you just start attacking someone. But as long as they don't attack back, your attacks do like almost zero damage.
Yeah.
So like, it was just really, it was a really boring scenario. And even if you do manage to kill someone, you don't get their items. They retain all their items, and you get like materials from killing them.
Yep.
So
That was the
That's
thing.
what is Bethesda doing?
But
Rust.
what
I think Rust did it right though. They have PVE servers even, and you're able to set it where there's no like enemies that spawn or anything like that, and no other player can kill you. You can just build and make everything nice and whatnot.
Yeah. You'll have to. I'm not sure about now because it's been a long time since I opened 76, but there was no options for servers. You just joined a game. It was just a join game button. But I mean, I'm a big Fallout guy. I put over 500 hours into Fallout 4. I've put something like 200 into 70, or not 76, God no, into New Vegas and 3.
Fallout 4's gunplay.
Whenever they announced 76 at the Xbox convention, they screwed up. Because that trailer that they showed before Bethesda's conference looked like it was a single-player Fallout game.
Oh.
Mhm.
And then you get the Bethesda conference, and they go through all of this stuff about the game, and then they're like halfway through, oh yeah, it's all online. You can't, no single player. Like stuff like that.
And no NPCs, just silence throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that was another weird direction they took as well, because there weren't any NPCs, but it felt like there should have been, because they committed to a storyline where people who would have been NPCs are constantly talking to you, but you can only access their voice lines by like looting the body of what would have been the NPC and picking up a voice recording and listening to it along the way. So it was like the world's most boring story podcast 24/7.
Yeah, pretty much. But looking like at anticipated games, like moving away from the negativity that is the Fallout series now. It's weird for me. I'm a big sports gamer. I'm a big into racing games, sports games, and single player experiences.
Mhm.
And COD and Battlefield are outliers for me.
Yeah.
So NHL, it dropped on EA Access yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I played that for the first time today. It doesn't officially come out for 4 more days. So I'm loving how that is. I'm a big graphics guy, obviously, and seeing overhauled packages and actually having commentary that flows is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But since I'm big in those games, my big month is this year. We're at the end of it, so August, September with Madden.
2K,
You get your Madden, 2K, NHL, which 2K just dropped today as well.
Right.
To 20% reviews on Steam again. Should tell you what you need to know about their loot box mechanics. And so, and then Cyberpunk, obviously, big single player stuff. And I'm gonna like take it in a direction that people don't usually look at, but stuff that's been leaked, stuff that may be coming down the pipeline, stuff like a new Splinter Cell game from Ubisoft.
That would be good.
Coming.
I would like that.
And something I've been hearing a lot is Rockstar's next game. There's been the rumors of GTA 6. And we got the rumors of a sequel to a game not many people know about, which is Bully. I'm not sure if any of you 3 know what that game even is.
Oh yeah, come on now. That was a.
All right,
yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody knows Bully.
Supposed to be, dude, that was fun fact. That was the first game that I ever like snuck and play because I wasn't allowed to play that game. And I remember one time there was a mission where you had to like steal like girls like undergarments or something like that.
Oh yeah, you had to sneak into their dorm.
Yeah, and I was doing that, and my mom walked in, but he like literally took him out of the drawer, and I was like, and I didn't know what to say.
This is why they think video games cause.
That's not what it looks like.
But the rumor's been swirling around big time about that game getting a sequel for years now.
That was so big. That would be huge, dude. That was
they've
so
been
really
getting
cool.
more credible leaks with it, so I'm hoping that that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I can see that as like a E3, a big E3 announcement next year. Somebody could steal the show with that, especially if the trailer's really good. Yeah, somebody could definitely steal the show with that.
There is a big game in development that we still have literally no info on. Elder Scrolls 6.
Oh yeah.
They just showed a mountain and then the title and then that's it.
That's
Skyrim.
That's enough.
You can also throw what is it? Starfield? Is it whatever that other game, that space game that Bethesda's making?
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hey,
it's like,
I just remembered a game.
I've lost all faith in space games ever since No Man's Sky let me down because I had so much hope for that game, dog.
A true amazing single player experience is
Starfield.
Prey.
So
never
actually,
played
Did you
game
say
that
It's a
Prey?
horror game. Hey, it's perfect thing for you to stream.
That's a good game.
Oh,
It's also
Lord.
on the Game Pass.
I don't do horror games though.
Yeah, it's also on Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lord.
I was gonna say something and I forgot. Anyways,
yeah, I wanted to.
another one of those space games that was just a letdown was like Star Citizen. Like you had, a lot of people were really looking forward to it, being in space and like going like everything's like randomly generated, like so far out, and
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, but we're gonna sell spaceships in the game for real money, and they're gonna be like $1,000.
Actually,
Yeah.
Excuse me?
yeah.
Like real money?
Some of them were more than that. Have you? It's
But
yeah,
like
real money. Like you're buying a car. Like really? Like
Yeah.
what are you doing as a company? Like actually.
Well,
Actually,
I wouldn't even be mad about that if I like didn't know that there were like actual people that probably paid that much for it.
I would hope
That
not.
makes me so mad, dog.
man. But another game that I completely forgot about, and I was talking about space, reminded me. Last week, trailer dropped for Kerbal Space Program 2.
I've never played it.
No, it is without doubt the best space exploration game. Probably the best implementation of physics involving space.
Mm-hmm.
They're planning on making a second one that's supposed to have way better graphics than the first one, which looked like an indie game because that's what it was.
Another game that's technically coming out, since if you don't have Ultimate Edition, you can't exactly play it yet. Gears 5, that's coming out. You can play it now if you have Ultimate Edition, as of last night, if I remember correctly. It's got new modes in it.
People are loving it so far.
Looks
People that have
fantastic.
played it.
Yeah.
People that have played it so far are really enjoying it.
And I think it's going to have more content than Gears 4, for sure. Gears 4 only had like a 2-hour campaign, and that was a bit of a letdown for me, especially, whereas all the other Gears games went for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then one that I want to open the discussion to is, how do you guys feel about Watch Dogs Legion?
I am very excited for that, personally.
Sergio shaking his head. Why is that? Why is that? You don't want to play as a grandma?
Watch Dogs is trash though.
I'm not a fan of this
Hey,
either.
I liked Watch Dogs
the
too.
first one.
Yeah.
I like the characters better in 2. I thought they were a lot more relatable and a lot like cooler in design and stuff.
Whereas
But
Aiden's
I thought
silent
the gameplay
protagonist,
to me
tough
in
guy.
the first one was a little better. But yeah, but the characters in the second one were okay. I just feel like they haven't hit like a perfect balance between the two. So I haven't seen trailers for the third one yet. I'll have to go and watch it.
Oh, you're gonna have to.
Oh, man.
So let me describe what happens before you go and see him. So you can play as literally anyone. Literally anyone. It's called Legion because you can take control of basically any person, and if your character dies, either they actually die or they go to the hospital or something, and then you spawn as someone else. It's full permadeath.
It is
Okay.
a full permadeath game.
Okay.
So there is
So
no such thing as an NPC in the game
Oh,
because
wow.
everybody's playable,
yeah.
supposedly.
Is there multiplayer?
So you can literally play as
Yeah.
like any person, even an old lady or a child, stuff like that. Or I don't think a child. I don't know if they added
I
that.
was about to say I would love to be a little kid going around smoking people. Dog.
I don't know about child. Maybe like
So much
teenager.
Bruh, that would be so
But, you
fun.
know.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
great
fun.
stream content.
Yeah, it really would.
Nah, but
I don't know about that.
I wanted to talk about a game that like I completely forgot about as far as like games I'm excited for, but it's the Star Wars game that Respawn is developing.
I haven't seen
forget the
anything
exact-
on it.
I forget the exact name of the title, but there's a whole gameplay trailer for it. They've done the reveal, they've done the trailer.
Is it the one with?
And-
Hold on. Is it the one with Luke Skywalker?
No, this
Okay.
is it's a new plotline with a.
I think I saw one at
nice.
E3. It may not be
Fallen
Luke
Order.
Skywalker, but it
Fallen
was
Order,
a
that's
guy,
the name of it.
wasn't it?
The Star Wars Fallen
Like
Order.
mainly a
I
single
never
player
heard of
game.
Star Wars
Yep,
game
it
either.
is
So
a
it's
full
set.
single-player game.
It's set following the path of I think an apprentice who survived Order 66. So
Wait, okay, I did see the trailer for that. Yeah, that game
Fallen
looks-
Fallen Order, yeah. I saw it. I just assumed it was
Personally,
Luke Skywalker, but then
No.
I don't normally go for like
I haven't watched it in a while.
RPG or like sword fight games, but like
Yeah.
when it comes to Star Wars, I really like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
And when it comes to their games, I think that the plot lines have been really strong from here and there. Like, personally, I think that the plot line of The Force Unleashed, 1 or 2, is probably stronger than any of the plot lines of their films. But I really like the aesthetic, and I'm super excited for what Respawn is going to do with a Star Wars game like that. It's supposed to be, I think, full single player, just a full like through story experience.
I just noticed you said Respawn. You mean the Titanfall people, the Apex Legends people?
Yes, the
Yep.
Apex
Oh,
Legends
wow.
Titanfall developers.
Well, that's
They
interesting.
That's
developed
weird.
the game.
That's weird, dog.
The
Yeah,
gameplay demo.
Back to Sergio's division. It's the Respawn's completely made up of the people that quit Infinity Ward after the Modern Warfare series. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I've never just been like a huge Star Wars fan. So when I first heard, or when I was watching E3 and the Star Wars music started playing for the trailer, I was like, oh my god, like here we go, dog. But then like once I watched the trailer, like it looks so dope. Like the protagonist looks super cool. The way he was like using his lightsabers, the way he was using the Force was really dope. So that might actually be one that I might actually play, especially since it's like single player only. I think I might actually enjoy that one, so we'll see.
See, the thing about it is it definitely has Titanfall mechanics in it as well.
because I saw
can
wall
see-
runs.
Yeah, you got like it definitely.
Uh,
You can see the Titanfall influence in the way the
Yeah.
game plays.
I don't think that's a bad thing as long as it's done well.
Hold on. Is this why we don't get frequent updates on Apex?
Yeah, probably. To be honest, that has probably actually got something to do with it.
Nah, it's because Apex was dropped without a plan.
Fair. They released it and then they're like, we're not gonna do anything with it for a couple months.
Yeah, that was a curious decision.
I don't think they were expecting to get a huge success. Well,
They weren't expecting
Temporary
to jump into
success.
Fortnite.
yeah.
All right, I have my list. I'm gonna go through these real quick because we've been going for a minute. Actually, I haven't bought a racing game in like ages, but some of my friends showed me the trailer the other day, and I thought Need for Speed Heat looked really, really dope. So if you haven't seen the trailer for that, you should definitely watch it. It looks really good.
I need to go see it.
I'm surprised nobody said this, but despite still not really knowing what the story is like all about, Death Stranding still looks really, really dope.
Oh
to me.
yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot about
I-
that one.
I have to play that game. Like
I've seen all the trailers. It looks
Yeah.
so exciting,
That's-
like interesting. Like I just want to know what's going on.
That's 100% gonna be a game that I stream on my own. Of course, Modern Warfare. Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know when it's dropping, but I remember seeing that game at I think it was the Xbox press conference like 2 years ago at E3, and it's like all based around samurai. It's like a really story-driven game. It looks super, super dope, and I think there's like actually co-op campaign type thing too. So that'll be super fun. I'm surprised nobody said The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2 is
I
sort of
mean,
been like
I'm on PC, so I can't say.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of fallen under the radar. I feel like they haven't been like pushing the fact that it's supposed to drop this year. So a lot of people are
This
sort of
year?
I thought it was. Isn't it supposed to drop
I've heard
this year?
nothing about it coming out this year at all.
I'll have to
I don't
look at
think
it.
did they even have anything at E3 for it?
Sony had no E3 conference this
Yeah,
year.
they didn't have anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
They just
Dang.
completely backed out of it.
Yeah.
okay.
Because
Okay.
after last year only having like 3 games to show, they
Yep.
they were like, nah.
I also have Cyberpunk, like Brandon said. I think that's like probably as far as new IPs go, maybe besides Ghost of Tsushima, that might be the one I'm looking forward to the most. Have been for literally since I was in high school. Some games another game that hasn't come out yet that I'm really excited to play. A lot of people gave it a lot of backlash when it got announced, but I was super optimistic about it once I figured out that it was going to be a completely playable like co-op game. The Avengers project that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, I'm
super
excited for
to play
that.
Ooh,
Super, super
I'm
excited to
not.
play through that. A lot of people aren't. Like a lot of people like saw it, the
They're
graphics
talking
and
Talking about
stuff.
like MCU
Yeah.
Avengers.
Yeah, MCU.
Yeah, well, not the MCU.
I just
people.
hope it plays well. It doesn't have to look phenomenal or
Yeah.
Right,
have
that
the
was
best
my point.
characters or heroes in it, but as long as it plays
Yeah,
well
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
Spider-Man
and is enjoyable.
But they like I saw they just now released like gameplay of it like a couple weeks ago, and I watched it, and the gameplay actually looks really really good. So I'm excited about that. Two games that have already came out that I'm excited to play like on stream, I guess. I've been feeling a lot of horror games in terms of like content wise, like when I stream and stuff. So a game that I actually have to play super soon because I downloaded it on my Xbox, Blair Witch. When I saw the trailer for that at E3, I knew that would probably make me have to go to the bathroom on myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming it too. I already downloaded it off of Game Pass. I'm probably gonna switch.
Yeah, that's why I got it too.
I'm probably gonna end up streaming this weekend.
Pass, yeah, because I saw it dropped, and I was gonna buy it anyway. But then I saw it was like Game Pass. I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then there's another one actually. So if anybody's ever had like a conversation with me about games, I think we even talked about it on the podcast before. We talked about how like we're ashamed that nobody's ever made like a co-op horror game, like a really good story-driven like co-op horror game. And some of my friends actually sent me. It just came out this summer. I'm pretty sure it's called the Blackout Club, and it's like a first-person like 4-player co-op horror game. So I'm super super excited to play that. I should be playing that really soon. But yeah, those are my games. If I had to
what about the one you were playing recently that just kind of
Man of Medan. Man of Medan's actually so. If you know me or if you ever watch my stream, like I don't like jump scares. Like I am the worst person when it comes to like reacting to jump scares, and I literally the first 30 minutes of the game probably made me jump like at least 6 or 7 times. So I'm not looking forward to finishing.
I'll state this: no spoilers, seeing as it literally came out today. If you're afraid of jump scares, don't go see it.
Oh really? Never mind. Our trip is canceled. Brandon. I'm not going, dog.
You better come watch it. You better come watch it. You better.
I will literally embarrass y'all in that movie theater, dog.
Well, that's too bad. We're gonna look. You're not gonna embarrass us. We're gonna be laughing at you. It's okay.
I'm telling you, I cannot do it. Dude.
You're gonna embarrass yourself.
Oh my
I'll make
God.
more statements post stream about it. So,
dude,
I ain't gonna say it during the podcast.
But yeah, if I had to pick one out of all these, I guess I'm the most excited to play. I have to go with Modern Warfare just because that's the esport that I participate in. But other than that, probably Cyberpunk, because of like the length of time we've been waiting on it and the hype around it. Now, I feel like Cyberpunk is also the game on my list that has like the most to lose, because if they made us wait this long and the game is trash,
yeah, they're gonna
that studio is like. That studio is finished.
But I mean,
they're gonna have to rebrand, rename.
Yeah, 100%. They're gonna have to
they gave us Witcher 3, so you can trust them a bit.
Yeah, and I sure do love Witcher 3.
Yeah,
Witcher Netflix series, boys.
Don't talk to me.
Yikes!
Yikes!
All right, let's go ahead and do our Q&A.
All right, so on to the Twitter Q&A. Let me pull that up real quick.
Well, while you do that, I have some in chat. So some people are asking questions.
I think the first question was about COD tryouts.
Brody asked, what is the probability of being turned down at COD tryouts? So I guess like the biggest thing, this is for all tryouts, not even just COD. Like we, so the biggest thing about tryouts this year, besides there being like a varsity program, is the fact that the school wants us to have JV teams along with our varsity teams too, just to have extra talent. Like, of course, they won't receive the same benefits that the varsity players do, but you'll still, at least for COD, you'll still be able to compete. So for COD, on our varsity roster, we have 5 starting spots and 2 subs. So those 7 people will receive like the varsity benefits, and then we also have 5 people for JV and 2 subs on that team as well. So if we don't have 14 people try out, congratulations, you made the COD team. So to answer your question, yeah, probably the probability that you get turned down isn't super high, but that doesn't mean come to tryouts just expecting to cruise through, because if I don't see you actually making an effort throughout the season, then I'm not putting you on the team. So JV or varsity. That's probably how I'll encourage my chairman to think about their games as well.
Were there any more in the chat that you?
Yeah, there was another. The next question is how do we feel about the Rocket League team? And Mensa put in a question as well.
So the Rocket League team, besides like how good they are, like I feel like the Rocket League community is the best community for it. Like I feel like out of all the esports that we have, I feel like they're the most close knit and the people that I can see like hanging out with each other like outside of their esport. And not to mention that they're super good. So I can't wait to see how much better they get throughout this season, especially
Rocket League is just massively entertaining.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
Especially watching it.
Yes, as a spectator esport, it's 100%. Besides COD, I guess it's like my favorite spectator esport, 102%.
It's like I've played like a few hours of Rocket League max, but when it comes to like thinking about something that's just fun to watch, Rocket League comes to mind. I mean,
yeah,
cars playing soccer with rockets on the back.
It's easy to understand, right? So like,
Exactly.
My ex-girlfriend came to the Egg Bowl last year, and I remember she literally didn't understand. Besides Kai, because she like watched me play before, she literally had never seen any of the other esports. But as soon as Rocket League came on, it was her favorite instantly because it was so easy for the common person to understand what was going on, and it reflected by the crowd reaction, right? Like that probably had the biggest crowd reaction out of the whole event. So yeah. Rocket League team is really good, and they really built a community that I'm proud of. So I know they're proud of it.
Oh, and they're immensely active in the Discord as well. Like even them in the Overwatch team, they're almost always in the voice chats and almost always in the actual channels for them.
I guess something I wanted to add about like Rocket League is that like you said, the crowd reaction. It's so like, whereas in a game like Overwatch or Call of, even to an extent Call of Duty, like what is a big play can be like really, really nuanced and something only like a player of that game would understand is a big play. Like, dude, that was huge. He just cleared that hill. He cleared two people. He grabbed the spawn anchor. That's a huge play. But like, not everybody's gonna understand that. Whereas in Rocket League, it's like, if somebody flies up to the top of the map, drives across the ceiling, and hits a ball that someone assisted from back right, they're like, that's crazy. That's insane. And like, they just instantly understand that like so much went into that.
Yeah. I think you have two more. Wait, no, what are you going to say, Dylan? My bad.
I'm going to add with the whole team thing with Madden being the chair for it. Like, seeing it's new, like anybody who wants to come at least attempt, like I'm willing to let pretty much anybody try. And the way Madden works is, I mean, well, you're going to essentially have two separate teams for it because you'll have your solos and your squads. So
yeah,
solos, if you want to be on the solo team, like you just come rep the school, and then if somebody else comes in and say that they're better, you can 1v1 them.
Yeah.
And you can see who's actually better.
I don't know how many solo teams were allowed in CSL League, but I know Madden is free entry. So if you do want to play, that league is definitely a possibility for you, and it's open. So definitely let them know.
Yeah, just let me know. Living human in the Discord. So
we have. I'm gonna answer these two, Brandon, and we're gonna go to the Twitter questions.
All right.
May have missed it. What are the plans for JV teams? What is special about it? Because I feel some people's ego won't let them be on there, and they may just skip the season of competing. With egos and esports, it's literally just like any like varsity athletics at this point. So therefore, if you don't want your spot on the JV team because you think you're too good, then I can 100% go find somebody else and replace you with them because they'll be happy to take your JV spot. So that's that on that. What's the most someone can compete? Say if I want to do COD, 2K, and be a Rocket.
I can kind of take that one just like anybody else can. It's about time commitment. It's like, I mean, technically you could do 2 or possibly 3, but if you really want to commit to playing that game and like being good at that game and practicing with your team on that game, there's no way you're going to be able to do 3 of them.
Yeah, I don't want mediocrity this year for any of our team. So if you're not going to join the team and put your 100% into it, whether it's a varsity program team or not, then I don't want you on the team. And also, not even like from a malicious standpoint, but like you have to think, like we are in esports, but at the end of the day, we're still all students too. So playing 3 esports for the school, competing in leagues for each one on top of maintaining your schoolwork is good luck trying to do that, basically, especially if you want to compete on a high level. And then lastly, a lot of people need to understand that, at least for our varsity players, if you do play a varsity esports, that you play multiple. If you do if your GPA ends up falling to the point where you aren't eligible by the end of the semester, you won't be allowed to be on that team anymore, along with the other teams that you're on. So I would be very cautious when you're trying out for these teams, and just remember, like, we are like esports competitors for the school, but at the end of the day, we're students and we're here to get our education too. So be very cautious of that.
Unlike the football team, we did come here to play school.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Brandon, I think that's all the chat questions.
Alrighty. So Patrick Spires, I'm assuming is how it's pronounced, on Twitter asks, is this the year we become an esports school? And what are the biggest goals for this year? And what long-term goals are we working towards? So, I don't know about becoming an esports school, but maybe we can get bigger than football one day.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's likely, but one day. That would be a great thing to happen. Biggest goals essentially would be having our team succeed and come out on top with pretty much everything they do.
Yeah. For me, obviously, like the biggest goal right now is winning the Egg Bowl. I don't really know like how other people felt about it because I can't speak for every other competitor, but I know for me and my team specifically, like the fact that we lost in the fashion that we lost, especially like since a lot of the games were so like handedly, like in particular things like, you know, off the top of my head, like honestly watching, no offense to the teams that competed, but watching CSGO and watching Smash was honestly kind of embarrassing. And I don't want that to happen again, ever. I don't want to have to sit in the crowd and just watch our teams just get destroyed like that ever again. Most importantly, if we don't do anything else this year, I really want to win the Egg Bowl or at least make it close all the way through. And I think that is the start of becoming an esports school, right? Start out the year with our announcement that we're officially an esports program under the school. Go and win the esports Egg Bowl. I've already got in touch with athletics, and if we do win the Egg Bowl, they're going to honor us on the 50-yard line at a football game with the trophy. So having that kind of exposure coming off of an Egg Bowl win is going to be huge. And then if we carry that momentum and our teams keep up the hard work and they compete in their leagues and win money and get to travel to all these other tournaments and win, then I think without a doubt, this is a year people are going to start respecting us.
I think that's something important that you mentioned with that is like just the overall seriousness of the program in general, and that like the school is actually putting like a big focus on like we care, and if you can win, we will support you. And
Right.
if you prove to us that you are good at this, and this is what you're going to represent the school doing, so like it's important that everyone take it seriously and like really show up to compete.
Yeah, I just to give people like a gauge of like serious being taken. I remember for the people that watched the COD team playing grand finals when we lost to Humber, I remember like the next day I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like I literally like went across campus with my head down the whole day. One of the things that made me feel like better about the team and about myself was that actually somebody forwarded me an administrative email chain. And they had like top administrators on campus have been talking about how proud they were of the COD team for making it that far, and how they have watched our playoff run throughout its entirety, and how they had never really watched esports like that before, but they watched our playoff run, and how just how engaged they were with it. To see that like really made me feel good. So if you know, we already have administrators acknowledging Call of Duty, which isn't even close to being like a top esport. Just imagine what like if our Overwatch team pops off for a season, what could happen? If our League of Legends team pops off for a season, what could happen? So yeah, I'm super excited. And I hope, if anything, I just hope our players like are aware of the pressure that we have this year, and I hope they don't take that as like a reason to be scared, but more so a reason to like be extra motivated and get the job done.
All right, so on to the next one. We have, let me see his real quick. At Warlock Rakul, however you pronounce it, he asked 3 questions. First one is, who is going to win the Esports Egg Bowl 2? Ole Miss, of course.
Come on, dog.
Ole Miss.
Come
You're
on,
gonna come
dog.
on the Ole Miss podcast and ask that question?
Yeah.
We know we're going to
What do
win.
you think, bro?
Oh, by the way, the esports, this is a good segue. The Esports Egg Bowl is October 5th. I actually got confirmation today that if we do have enough interest in spectators from our school outside of the organization or within the organization, they will hopefully provide us another bus to take the spectators down there. So it's October 5th. We'll probably leave the school, it's a Saturday, so we'll probably leave the school like 6:30 a.m. if you are riding the bus with us. And it's an all-day event, so if you are going to come, just be wary that it is an all-day event, so we'll be there literally probably 12 hours that day. But yeah, even if you can't watch it in person, watch it. It should be on twitch.tv/esports_MSU or something like that. So be on the lookout for that. That's my favorite event of the year now. So make sure to support the teams.
And then even if need be, anyone in Oxford, if you need to carpool, you can talk to anyone in the Discord, even me, myself. I'm willing to carpool. I drive a hybrid.
Myself,
Yeah.
so.
I can take one person.
in your Corvette. But they also, we have just started an esports, Ole Miss Esports Spirit Squad. So they're pretty soon. Brandon's on it. I put him and Bella in charge of it. They are going to be putting together like a sign making party for people to make signs for all of our players. So be on the lookout for that. That should be pretty fun. Yeah. So like I said, just make sure you come out and support the teams, whether it be on Twitch or in person. We would greatly appreciate it. We want to have a big crowd when we invade MSU and take our trophy back.
Hey,
And
Brandon, are we gonna have like a big old like foam picture of Surge's head?
Yo, got it. Dude, you gotta get the laser eyes one, dog. Yo, you gotta get that.
we are absolutely doing it. We're gonna have multiple posters, and we're gonna have every single picture of Sergio that we have, and I'll put them all on posters. Especially the one with the laser eyes, the woke Sergio.
I'm not gonna be able to look up at the crowd. I'm gonna start big game, dog.
Oh, that'll be great. Dude, come on, it'll give you motivation. I swear. So his next question, we kind of already answered the first part of it, but his full question is, what is the goal for the year, and then what is different from last year? So I'm not sure how to answer that, so I'll hand it over to you, Sergio, if you have any insight on that one.
Well, I'm interested to either you other two have anything to say on that.
I mean, I kind of do. I mean,
Okay.
What makes it different from last year is I mean, we're a developing program, but like, even saying that program, it was just a club, and now it's partly a program, and it's serious because this is our first like year going in as a program and representing the school in a very, very real way. I mean, we were representing the school in some capacity before, but not in the same way that we are now. And I feel like this year carries a certain amount of weight, as everything that teams do this year, everything that Ole Miss Esports does this year matters in a certain inaugural sense, because it's the first time we're doing it. And if we do it well and it succeeds, that success will be looked back on as the foundation of what the program is in the future.
Yeah, I agree. Sort of bouncing off that, like he said, like this is the year. this is the year that's going to determine what the freshmen that come in after us, what they experience when they get here if they want to participate in esports. This is 100% our biggest year. You know, I just gave the example of that email, and that, like I said, it goes to show how many eyes are on us this year to do big things. Like you said, this is our first year, like as a varsity program. What was it? What was the second part to this question? I know he said like what's changed.
What is different from last year?
Yeah. So I guess like just from last year, varsity program, JV teams this year. We've added more esports. We got more chairmen. We finally got a graphic designer in Dylan. Our community's gotten a lot bigger. There's just so much stuff like in the works that, like I said, there's some stuff that I can't even talk about at this point that I'm just so excited, and we are so fortunate to have like the administration behind us that we do, especially in the South. I feel like I never would imagine like a school like Ole Miss being so progressive when it comes to esports and just being super behind us like this.
I kind of actually want to interject on that a little bit. I've had like friends that I've talked to that don't go here. And I kind of bring up that we have like an esports thing, and that like that when I bring up that like the administration itself is like leaning into us as well, that's where their eyes kind of get wide, and they're like, like, you're serious? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Right.
like you're talking about your school is like about to have like an esports program, and I'm like, yeah, it's like it's real like that, and they're like, that's crazy. And it's just like to be here with that. It's also really fun.
It's really exciting having a ton of support from school staff, especially like before we were an official program. We did have support and phenomenal support from the provost, especially Noah Wilkin. He was when I talked to him about it, he was ecstatic and like wide eyed. He was pretty into it. And it's so interesting having more people from staff like talking about it and interested in it. It's great. I hope even more get interested in it.
Right. Trying to think of more like things that are different. And the biggest thing for me, or like my biggest project over the summer that I wanted to like really being like ahead of the competitive stuff, was like giving our players incentives. And this sort of stemmed from watching like my team grind out like the playoff run. Like during our run for playoffs, like we probably played Call of Duty like an unhealthy amount. And I don't think a lot of people really got to see that because I didn't really stream scrims towards the end of the season. Like we didn't talk to many people in the Discord and stuff. Like we were just head straight like grinding. And it got to a point where we would literally like get home, maybe do homework, and then like play COD for 6-7 hours like every day to get ready for playoffs. And just seeing that and seeing how they did that so willingly, like I sort of thought like there has to be something that I can give to these players, to all of our teams, to not only make them want to play this much, but to reward them for the hard work that they do put forward. So incentives are coming. I guess one that I can say for sure that we're working on is getting like so if you go to Ole Miss, you know our football players have like the custom backpacks with their names on them and their position. So we're working on that where it'll have your name, your role in whatever game you play and whatever esport you participate in. And just there's other incentives coming, but that's like one of my favorite ones to bring up because I literally have dreamed about that since I joined 2 years ago. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, if there's any year that it was a good idea to join Ole Miss Esports, this is the year.
And then his last question is, how can I help? And considering, if I remember correctly, he doesn't go here, not as a student. I would say one way you can help is get in contact with us, figure out what you can do. There's probably some things you can do here and there with ideas, events, sponsorships, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
especially advertisement. One thing we definitely need is advertisement, connections, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a really obvious thing to point out, but like beyond like I mean, I guess it's all physically doing something, but beyond like actually working with us to like do our events or projects, like just coming into the streams, just showing up for events, just like watching our teams play, and like the viewership helps because the more viewers we have, the higher we up are on the ladders, and we can say, hey, we pulled in 600, 700, 800 viewers for this, like, and people look at that, and it's way different than, oh yeah, 10 people viewed this, 3 of the people viewing it were on the team anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's a whole different dynamic, because if you're viewing it, you're spectating it, you're telling your friends about it, and you're trying to get word out about esports. That's a huge help to the entire program.
Yeah, I agree. Just if you don't physically go to the school and you're wondering how you can support us, our merchandise is on our bookstore. Merchandise is on the bookstore, Almost Bookstore website. So definitely go buy that, because the more people that buy that, the more people that show interest, people are gonna be put on notice, and the more money the bookstore is gonna give us in return for being able to sell it. Also, like Levi brought up, the content. We're gonna start our weekly daily stream schedule starting Monday. So make sure to come out to those and support our content creators that we have. We have some really, really wonderful, entertaining people that do, like Brandon.
Yeah,
that,
me too. I'm entertaining, right?
Yeah, that do our stream from time to time. Continue supporting the podcast. We really appreciate it. We have a few more content projects. We just recently started our top 5 plays, and that's really doing well. So keep supporting stuff like that. One thing I really want to hit home that Brandon really mentioned is sponsors. If there's ever anybody, or if you have a company, or if you know anybody with the company for something that you think would benefit us as a product, definitely never hesitate to talk to us or talk to our administration. And just supporting our community. One of my favorite things about competing last year was watching the VODs back and being able to see the chat. And whenever somebody on our team would do something, you would see the Ole Miss, like people spamming stuff in there. That felt better than you can ever imagine. So any chance you get, like the beauty of esports is that you don't have to leave your room to support. You can sit there on your computer, in your bed, even on your phone, and watch and support your favorite school or team.
And
So I strongly encourage people to do that.
one of the crazy things too, like this year we're going to be able to we should be able to better build our Twitch and our YouTube, because we're getting things out consistently and on schedules.
Right. Yeah.
And then something that's also crazy is even last year's Egg Bowl, the Ole Miss Esports Twitch channel had I think peaked 300 something or 400 something viewers, and that's insane.
Yeah.
And it was consistent at about 200.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, plenty of avenues to support us. Whether you're sitting watching a podcast now, or whether you watch our top 5 plays, whether you like our tweets, it's all appreciated. And we have so much stuff that we're gonna be putting out, and hopefully keeping you guys interested. Because it's not your job to give us your attention, but it's our job to earn your attention. So we're definitely we have a good enough team to where we're gonna make that happen. So I'm excited.
All right, so is that about all?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk about tryouts. Announce tryouts, then we're good.
Tryouts. Okay.
Yeah,
So
go to the list.
okay, now I gotta find that. Should I just go to announcements?
I can do it.
Okay.
It is not in announcements.
Okay. So people that do go to our school, tryouts are starting this Sunday. So they will be running from Sunday, November 8th, all the way to September 8th, all the way to Friday, September 13th. So each game will have a different day, and these tryouts will be in person. If you can't make the in-person tryouts, then you need to contact the chamber for that game as soon as possible, so they can make arrangements for you to possibly have an online tryout. But the first game, all these tryouts are at 6 p.m. On their given day, and they will be at the CME building on campus. If you don't know where that is, it is right next to the Lyceum and right next to Carrier, the building in between. So the first game is Rocket League, obviously, Sunday, September 8th. Then Monday, September 9th, we have Overwatch. Tuesday, September 10th, we have Call of Duty. Wednesday, September 11th, we have Rainbow Six Siege. Thursday, September 12th, we have Counter-Strike. And lastly, Friday, September 13th, we have League of Legends. Also, I want to mention that if you are interested in playing Smash on the varsity level for the school, our Smash team will be having their weekly that they have every week on Fridays, and it'll be from 5 to 10 p.m., and that will go a long way in considering who they have on our Smash roster for the year. So that will act as your tryout. I believe those are in the RH basement. I don't know which RH it is, but it's the one by Burns Hall and Minor.
That's RH2.
RH2? Okay, cool. So RH2, the basement, that's where they have their weekly. So once again, all these tryouts are at 6 p.m. in the CME building. We hope to see a lot of you there. Even if you don't think you're the best at whatever game you play, please come out and at least try out. What systems do all of them? All of them, I guess, besides Rocket League's cross-platform, so you can play on whatever you choose. Overwatch, Rainbow Six, CSGO, League of Legends will be on PC. Call of Duty is on PS4.
Smash, obviously on Switch.
Yeah, Smash, obviously on Switch. And for each of these games, you have to bring pretty much nothing if you don't want to. We have PCs and peripherals set up already, but I would strongly advise you to bring your own monitor and peripherals if you can. For Call of Duty, we have to bring our PS4s. You have to bring your controllers and headsets, mix amps if you have it. And I think that's about it for materials that you need. I could be announcement day of each trial to let you know what you need to bring and who you need to get in contact with when you go. But yeah, like I said before, if you don't think you're the best at whatever game you play, please still come and try out. We really appreciate it. We want to see as many people there as possible. And yeah, so hopefully this is the start to a great year. This is the most important part of our year probably. So I really hope it goes well.
And then, so as far as trial participation goes, a lot of Sergio's saying about like, well, even if you don't think you're the best, it's really important to have a mindset of improvement. And even if you don't think you're the best, if you try out and it turns out that, you know, you make a squad or you make a JV, even if you make just the JV squad, I mean, you can play throughout that year, and playing on a team in a competitive environment is completely different than just casually grinding it out solo. And I mean, you can get a lot better, and just everything about your gameplay can get a lot better. And even if you don't believe you're that good, you should still try out if you think that it's something that you'd want to do. So,
aside from just peripherals, everyone that's going to tryouts, I would recommend take note of your DPI, your in-game sensitivity, and your Windows sensitivity for each of the tryouts, because if you don't have one of those, you're going to be looking at a lot less good gameplay as you're usually getting. Is that about all? Ready to wrap it up? Alrighty. So, welcome to, thank you for watching episode 7. Yeah. I'm scatterbrained. Come on. Thank you for tuning in for episode 7 of the Cooldown podcast, and look forward to the next episode in 2 weeks, hopefully. Good night. Have a great day, and peace.
Bye.